send you a link.
Look at
Yep. What's up, dude?
that.
So I have a few different scenes. But yeah, this is kind of it, man. And on so I have actually have a second PC up and running right now. That's just dedicated to streaming. So I have 2 keyboards, 2 mouses in front of me right now. It's a way more complicated setup than the Weekend Warrior gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mainly do it just for video streaming, or do you do other types of streaming? Like, well, you don't play music as much anymore, but
No, so I have this. Hold on. So I have this thing, and this is a badass. Sorry, the screen blur is kind of getting into it, but this is a Focusrite 18x20 Scarlett interface, and this allows me to connect all the mics that I would need to mic up a drum set, and then put it into a digital audio workstation. So
I'm trying to. I'm seeing what you're showing, but I'm like at a 4-second delay.
yeah. So I haven't messed with this too much lately, but this is what a digital audio workstation is. This is called Persona Studio One, and I can take all those inputs, all those microphones, put it into that audio interface, which takes those analog signals and then amplifies them if it wants to freaking go. Let's see if it's trying to open it or not. Let's see if it's trying to open it. Oh god. It's got to do the full install, but it's pretty quick.
Okay.
It's not opening. Whatever. Anyways, it looks like Logic, or it actually does. The reason why I went with Persona Studio One is that I used to record on my MacBook, and Apple has their own proprietary digital audio workstation called Logic Pro X, and my MacBook just got really old, and I didn't want to spend a whole bunch of money on another computer, so I figured out how to record on PC. And Persona Studio One actually, the GUI and all the functionality looks really similar and works very similar to Logic Pro X.
A pretty easy switch for you.
Yeah, so this is what a DAW looks like. And so if I'm recording drums, oh yeah. If you can hear that, it's probably pretty quiet. I forgot that I had this. So I recorded to, I forgot what song that is. Anyways. But I have the ability to fully record and live stream drums and video as well. So I recorded to, but I just haven't done it because I don't have time and I have a family.
Cool.
Oh, I was going to show you this to you. So up here in the top left, if you follow the mouse, you can see my stats here. So I'm floating around 185 frames of the menu. My GPU, I have RTX 3080, sitting around 60 degrees. It ain't bad. My millisecond, which is my GPU time, that's the latency from the screen, or how long it takes my GPU to create frames, visually what I'm seeing. That's the overall GPU clock. And then my CPU has overall, also plays a role in creating the image on my screen, and that has a 5 millisecond delay. Consoles in some regard are designed to have really short or limited delays, but PlayStation 5 is probably the closest in terms of that, because it's all integrated. It's integrated AMD GPU. What's that?
Here's an interesting thing for you. What's that little clock on the left-hand side of the Warzone?
This one?
The blue one.
Yeah, so that's when Verdansk comes out. The original OG map that we all can't wait for.
Their timers are different by like 45 seconds.
Yeah. So if I go into my settings here, I go into graphics, I have way more in terms of settings that I can manipulate. I have everything kind of turned down because I don't really care how good the game looks. I want it to be fast. I want more frames. I want the least amount of delay. This game only takes up a little bit of VRAM, but I have 9.1 available, so I could use more. I could do more and all that, but I don't. But yeah, man.
Sweet. Yeah, the streaming's really cool. I mean, I'm not sure I would ever get into it, but I mean, it looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, so you can.
If you got a good setup.
Yeah, you can do a single PC stream setup where you don't need two PCs. This is definitely like overkill. But what I like to do is be able to stream and record at the same time. So record the entire match, like what we played earlier. And so you can't see it here. Let me see if I can pull it up on the screen, because I do have OBS open up here. This might trip you out. But these are all my scenes here on the left side, and then for this, because this is just my source, which is basically the screen that I'm sending over to my other PC. But if you look over here on the right, I have the ability to record in OBS, and if I record, I can essentially, if I go to settings, video output, recording, I can send a video, I can record and then have it automatically create a video file in whatever location that I want it to. So on my stream PC, I have the NVENC encoder on that graphics card in that computer, which is an RTX 2080 Super, processing the streaming and encoding the streaming and pushing that out to YouTube. And then I have the CPU, which isn't a very good CPU, doing all the legwork of recording to the hard drive. So I'm able to basically utilize both the GPU and the CPU for streaming and recording. separately. And that's all that workload is put on the second PC. And that way I can have my gaming PC purely just focus on gaming. There's going to be no additional system latency from streaming. With a single PC, you can't really do that. You can't game, stream, and record all at the same time and not have computer issues.
Crazy. Thanks. It's pretty awesome.
Thanks. And this camera is overkill. I have the equivalent of a Canon 70D. It's the Rebel T6i. Very similar. It just doesn't. It only records 1080p at 30 frames per second. But if you look at my small little window of my camera on my overall screen, I don't need to be pushing out, 4K for this tiny little block on my entire screen. That is my, I don't need all that. So this camera does it just fine. I had to get some extra hardware, like a power supply, so I can plug the camera into the wall and not just use the little batteries, shit like that.
Yeah.
But
how long did it last you?
Those little batteries last like 20 minutes, but it's plugged into the wall to a power strip,
Oh.
so this will go forever. But I got a ring light to lighten up the whole space as well. But yeah, man. But dude, this computer is just absurdly fast, man.
Well, thanks for getting me set up tonight, man.
Yeah,
It's
dude.
been awesome.
Yeah, I can.
Glad to get roped in.
Yeah, I can literally create a million tabs. And I'm still only using just over half of my bandwidth, but I also have Call of Duty still running and OBS. That's just stupid. It's just stupid, man.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah. There's literally no delay. I can pick any tab. Yeah. Oop. You can see the memory drop off there from closing all the tabs. Yeah, dude. Anyways.
Oh.
I mean, how's your class that you're taking, man? How is it?
Man, so today was a good, interesting day for me mentally. I called my dad up to talk to him because he's kind of been through a lot of this stuff. But so yesterday I found myself like really interested in all the subjects, and I noticed how resourceful my brain is at being able to pull up multiple tools regarding a situation and go, hey, here's a tool that I like to use for that, and it's called this. And here's why I use it. And here's what we're doing in our flight in our squadron that works well. And so there was a lot of that yesterday. Today there was still some good moments in that, but today it kind of like a couple of people I talked to were like kind of like politicking a little bit, the Air Force isms of like talking about trying to get promoted or whatever, taking a position or getting on top 3 so that they, can get connected. And I'm changing my mind, man. Like my whole like frame of mind for my entire career is kind of shifting. And it's hard.
You don't have an agenda anymore.
Yeah.
When you take the weight of pursuing rank or position and you just focus on the job. Now, granted, we were fortunate enough to not have a slew of airmen to oversee, right? But,
right.
Yeah, man. No, it's freeing. Honestly, the way I see it is that I just get to, now I get to pick and choose, selfishly, my opportunities that I want to lead. If I want to lead something,
Weird.
if I want to lead something, I can raise my hand. Or if I want to go pursue a opportunity to go get in front of people, share experiences, or to preach the mission, whatever it is, I can go do those things. If I don't want to, I don't have to. I'm not forced to be in a position where daily I'm constantly having to set an example for airmen. For officers we do, for sure. But
You know what was interesting is me kind of like piecing together like what there are quite a few like you could probably put like 20 different things on a plate and say all of those impact our mission and our why it's people love working in our squadron. But one of the things I realize is that we're mostly E3s or sorry O3s and a few O4s.
mm-hmm.
And somebody I was talking to was like, you realize that with the O4 promotion rate, that almost everybody in the squadron gets promoted.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
You
about.
know?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Okay, yeah, that's absurd to me. Number one, number two, they're all in the like the 8 to 15 year mark in their career, or 6 to 15 year mark.
So they've all done their officer 3+3. So
Yeah,
so they've done 3 years, going through their lieutenant ranks, and they've served at one base, and they've all served their +3 either at their original base or they PCS'd and did another 3 years somewhere else, and then that opens up the door to come to the STOS. So
what I've noticed is number one, we don't have a lot of the basic level airman problems that you would see. Like for the most part, all of the